I've been on Reddit for about 2 years now, but I just now found the subreddit. After reading a few of the top posts, I realized what happened to me this summer is a perfect fit here. I haven't written anything in a long time, so sorry if this isn't the most articulate post. This had me messed up for a while, and I'm still not completely okay, but over time it's been easier to cope. It was the middle of summer, and my parents had left for the weekend to go to our house in Cape Cod. It's about a 2-hour drive away, so it's no big deal for them to leave me alone for a few days. My mom had some pulled pork and pasta for me to heat up to eat whenever, and I did have some money if I wanted to order a pizza. Things were all good. The first night I was alone and I stayed up until 3 in the morning playing Xbox, so naturally I woke up really late the next day. I checked my phone when I woke up and saw it was a little past 1. I had made some plans with my friends to play some street hockey around 3, so I threw myself out of bed and stumbled into the shower. I take really long showers, so when my parents are gone, I went mental. I was in there for about 45 minutes on my phone scrolling through Reddit, Twitter, and whatnot. Then I heard my front door open. The bathroom is directly up the stairs from the back door, and the thing is pretty loud when it opens and closes. I immediately froze. Since obviously I was supposed to be alone, I waited for about 2 minutes with my ears trained and trying to hear anything else. Nothing. So I just figured it was the wind, or, maybe my parents were home early. So I turned off the shower, wrapped my towel around myself, and slowly walked down the stairs to check it out. So the stairs to the kitchen are pretty tight and walled in. So it's essentially like walking down a tighter version of this, but replacing the rail with a wall, so I can't see into the kitchen when I walk down. Even though my house is old, each step on the stairs makes a super loud creak. I still took my time and tried to be as quiet as possible. I probably took 45 seconds walking down all 12 of the stairs. So when I got to the second to last stair, right before I could see around the corner of my kitchen, I take a little breath to compose myself. In my mind, I knew I was being stupid. There obviously wasn't anything in the kitchen. There was no way. I would have heard another noise, and there's no reason for them to still be in the kitchen, even if there were burglars or something in the house. After sort of mentally chastening myself for being such a wuss, I sort of chuckled to myself for being so stupid. Just normally walk down the stairs. Standing about 2 feet away from me in the middle of my kitchen is a man staring at me, perfectly still, with a massive smile across his face just staring at me. The thing I remember most vividly about him wasn't his face or his smile, but it was his arms. They weren't just at his side. They were held in the most strangest, most abnormal position I've ever seen. One would normally hold their arms, but he had rotated them to the point where they almost completely reversed, as well as lifting them up a little behind himself. I don't know why I remember this so much, but it's just the most demonic, abnormal position I've ever seen. Honest to God, I think I almost had a heart attack right there. Looking back, I can realize how creepy this situation was, but in the moment, I just took a step towards him and punched him as hard as I could in the jaw, sort of half slapping him / pushing him towards the ground. The second I connected, I beelined it up the stairs, dropping my towel in the kitchen with my heart beating out of control. I sprinted into my room and locked the door behind me. I quickly put a chair up against the doorknob like you see in the TV, almost thinking immediately. I called 911 and, nearly in tears, told the operator what happened. As I sat on the floor of my room in practically the fetal position, staring at the door, praying that a cop would be there soon, I noticed the light coming from the gap between my door had stopped. He was standing outside my door. There were no words to describe the feeling I had. I was paralyzed with fear, watching the shadow across the bottom of the door shift in tiny waves. I stayed ball up, staring at the gap, praying that the man would go away for what seemed like an hour. All the while, the 911 operator was asking, "Hello, sir, are you there? Hello?" I didn't want to make a noise, and even if I wanted to move my arms to bring the phone to my mouth, I don't think I could have. Eventually, the light returned to the gap, and I heard the faintest of footsteps slowly creaking the wooden floorboards as he walked down the hall. It was silent for a few minutes as I just sat there curled up, unable to even speak. I heard banging on the front door and the sound of 2 officers entering my house. I felt safe, and I opened the door to 2 of them standing there when I almost cried. Nowadays, my parents don't leave me home alone anymore, thank God, and I check every lock on the house before going to bed, and I still get nightmares occasionally. Also, my heart starts racing every time I see someone standing still, but I'm doing alright. Even working with sketch artists in a few lineups, the police never found whoever was in my house. Still to this day, it sends shivers down my spine every time I look outside, half expecting to see him standing across the street smiling under a lamppost. I have no idea what he wanted or who he was, but regardless, let's not meet ever again.